What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily. So this week we are checking out some great tech items for the holiday season at a whole bunch of different price points to maybe give you guys some ideas for stocking stuffers or gifts for your friends or family, or maybe even a little something for yourself. To start things off in this video, we are checking out some tech items that you can pick up right now for under $5. And I know what you're thinking, there can't possibly be anything useful at that price, but I actually have a decent little collection of some tech gadgets and accessories that I think are well worth a couple of bucks to say the least. If you're interested in learning more about any of the items featured here, or if you want to pick something up for yourself, I'll leave links to everything I talk about down below in the video description. At the time of filming this, these items were all under $5, but I know prices can fluctuate, so it's possible they went up a couple bucks since then. And actually, if you're interested in winning one of these items featured in this video, I'll of course be giving something away to one of you guys. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and let me know down in the comments what you might want. I do have a few giveaways to catch up on this month, so I'll be announcing the winners to everything on Sunday, December 9th. So the first item we have here is a crystal clear phone case for the iPhone 10 and iPhone 10s. You guys know I review a ton of different phone cases on this channel, but I was actually pretty surprised to find one for $5 for a phone that isn't a few years old. If you are picking up a new iPhone this holiday season, even though this case is relatively inexpensive, I still think it's a great option if you want to not only protect your device, but also show it off a little bit too. You've got that complete see-through rubber and plastic construction with no textures or designs or logos, which I definitely like, and the case has a complete edge and raised lip around the screen to keep every corner of your phone protected. You've got your volume and power buttons covered on the sides there, and what I like in particular about this case is just how thick the corners are. You can really tell how much added material there is, and that's pretty important because a phone falling on the corner is almost always bad news. With this case, you've got that extra protection on all four sides, so even if the phone takes the worst possible hit, you should be protected. For only $5, I have no complaints here. I know it might be a little backwards to cover a $1,000 phone with a super inexpensive case, but I don't think there's anything wrong in trusting this one with your phone. Next, we have pretty much the most important thing for any iPhone, and that's a good solid lightning cable. I personally can never have enough of these, and this one right here for $5 is an absolute steal. It's a nylon braided cable, which means it's thick and tough and really difficult to break or tear. So right off the bat, it'll likely last longer than the ones you get from Apple that tend to fray after a couple months of use. It's got thick connector ends that'll also help ensure that it lasts a long time, and if you like them long, this one is 6 feet. So it can go from the wall to the couch or snake around your desk setup or anywhere else you might need to charge, and you won't have to be stuck next to the outlet. I think swapping out the standard lightning cables that ship with the iPhones is always a good move, and this is a nice option for sure. If you happen to know anyone still rocking an iPhone 5, 5S, or iPhone SE, and they're reluctant to upgrade for whatever reason, you can breathe some new life into their phone with this external lens adapter from Newer. This is actually a 3-in-1 lens kit that isn't a screw-on or clip setup, but rather a sort of hat-like attachment that fits right over the top of the phone. I actually like this method a lot since you don't have to try to position anything or worry about the lens being off-centered. Everything is already built into the housing, so you can just pop on whatever lens you want and flip it around to change it to the other side when you need to. This kit does include 3 lenses. There's a 180-degree fisheye lens for super wide shots, a standard wide-angle lens for getting a little bit more in a single picture, and if you unscrew the wide angle, you'll find a macro lens underneath that for capturing little details and objects super close up. The kit has a couple lens covers to keep them clean and scratch free, and also comes with a little felt carrying bag, which is nice. And I do realize that not a ton of people have these phones still, which is probably why it's just $5, but for anyone still hanging on to the older iPhones, this is a nice little accessory. One item I don't always see at such a low price is a wireless Qi charger, but this one from Amwoke is $5 right now, and it's a pretty good option for sure. It's actually got one of the most interesting designs I've ever seen for a charger like this. It's sort of like donut shaped, but it of course charges just fine, and there's no issues in the charging pad detecting any phone that I've tried. It's a 10-watt charger that works with iOS and Android devices that support wireless charging, of course. It's built well, it looks nice, and if you don't want to spend too much on a charger, I think this is a great option. At the end of the day, most wireless chargers are built sort of the same and do the same thing anyway, so spending $30 or $40 isn't always necessary in my opinion. On Amazon, I actually do tend to see a few computer mouses for around $5, but most of them are sort of the cheap generic USB ones that look like they're from 1999. This mouse from Perix, though, is a surprisingly good $5 programmable gaming mouse, and I think it would look great with any desk setup. It's got a really straightforward design that feels good in the hand and is comfortable on the wrist. The cable is a threaded nylon material, which is once again super high quality that you know will last a long time, and there's 8 programmable buttons on the mouse itself that you can set up to control just about anything on your PC or in-game. What's also pretty awesome is that you can change up the color of the light that shines through through to give you a new look or match your PC setup. And all in all, I was actually pleasantly surprised to find something like this that is really pretty inexpensive. One of the most useful things I've actually added to my own desk setup has been these cable ties that are sort of like much sturdier and higher quality twisty ties to keep wires and cables neat and tidy. They come in a bunch of different colors, obviously, so you can mix and match with the cables you have, or maybe add a little color contrasting detail. And I've had these for a few years now, actually, and I've been really impressed with not only how tough and rigid they are, but how flexible they can be when you need to tie something up. They bend and twist into nearly any shape you need, and they also keep their shape really well too, since they're pretty thick. They're all rubber, so they won't slide around or fall off any of the cables, and honestly, this definitely beats having wrinkled up old twisty ties trying to hold up any of your wrapped cables. These little guys have certainly been one of the best subtle additions I've made, and considering how many cables and things I do have laying around, it's really nice to be able to keep them neat and organized with some higher quality twisty ties that have lasted me quite a long time. If you know anyone who might be getting into filming or vlogging, this little tripod is a solid buy for $5, and it's especially great for traveling. You've got a standard size screw at the top for easy installation on pretty much any camera, and tight but flexible all metal legs that can bend and twist in any direction, so you get the perfect angle for filming. The ends of the tripod legs are all rubber, so they won't slide around on a table or desk, and even though this is a very tiny tripod, it can still handle even a little bigger cameras beyond just the point and shoots. It works well with my Panasonic G7, not only for some handheld vlogging, but also propped up on my desk. The flexible metal legs are tough and sturdy and have no problem keeping their shape even with the slightly heavier camera attached to them. And honestly, there are a lot of great full-size tripods out there that fold up pretty compact too, but if you want to keep things super simple and have something you can literally carry in your pocket, for $5, this is a really great deal. Another great gift idea for the aspiring filmmaker in your life is this SD card holder and carrying case. I know for me personally, I tend to just throw all my SD cards around on my desk and I can never keep them organized, so something like this is actually a really big help. You've got a bunch of slots inside to store SD and even micro SD cards, which is great. The case itself is a super soft and high quality material, and what's also nice is it's super compact. So you can carry your cards in your pocket if you want to, or of course throw them in a bag or backpack and not have to worry about losing anything. It zips right up to keep everything secure, and for just a couple bucks, once again, I think this is a great item that serves a great purpose. And finally, if you find yourself going through a ton of earbuds and just need a pair of inexpensive ones to keep around, these ones from Sentry are literally the cheapest on Amazon right now. You're obviously not getting a whole lot here, but you're still getting a solid pair of metal earbuds with a removable rubber tip and a nice long cable that also includes some inline controls and a mic. Sure, most smartphones have dropped the headphone jack by now, but if you have a 3.5mm adapter and prefer a wired connection, these work perfectly fine, and they also sound pretty decent too. You gotta keep your expectations in check here, of course, but they get the job done, and because they're so expensive, I wouldn't be that heartbroken if something happened to them. For people who really end up losing or breaking a lot of earbuds for whatever reason, it's way easier to stomach a $5 loss if something happens, and these, while still really inexpensive, are a pretty good option. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Like I mentioned earlier, definitely leave a comment down below letting me know what item was your favorite, and you might even have a chance to win it. Also, be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.